Thank you, ma. Praise the Lord. If you are not here now, you are about to start missing out on something special. Let everybody come down to their seats. We're about starting session 2. I'm going to count down to 10. At the end of the countdown, we start. 1, 2, 3. Those of you going towards the exits. 6, 7, 9, 9.5, 9.75, 9.9999. Praise the Lord. Earlier we were talking about how to begin a career in ICT. We could have as well said how to make a living using ICT. But now we're talking about managing your finances through ICT skills or making money through ICT. I am not going to make this presentation as much as about the PowerPoint documentation that we've done. I want to rush through this and I want to speak with you or speak to you from the heart. I like to be experiential when we are talking about these things because it is something that I have done. It is something that I've experienced. And it is something that has paid off. I'm not bragging, but every time I ever have to look back and consider the choices that I have made as regards ICT, I've never had a cause to regret it. In fact, sometimes I ask myself, what would have happened if I had taken this decision maybe when I was in secondary school? If you look at the world's richest people today, if you call up the list of the world's richest people today, a substantial portion of the top 10 are people who have invested in ICT. Now, let me quickly caution you on something. When they say this person has so hundreds of billions of dollars, this person is worth so billions of dollars, it's not like that person has the money in a bank. It's not like when you see the person's accounts, this is how much you will find in the person's account. What they are telling you is that that person has created so much value, and that value is worth this amount of money. Let's take an example. Who is the richest man in the world right now? Elon Musk. Somebody do a quick search. How much is Elon Musk worth? I need figures. A quick check. How rich is Elon Musk? Your steez is not on point though. 58 $258 billion. But when Elon Musk wanted to buy Twitter, was he able to pull down cash? He was unable to pull down cash. How much was Twitter valued? $44 billion. But he was unable to pull out that cash. He still had to go sell some of his stock for Tesla, for him to be able to buy Twitter. I'm telling you that story because I want you to have it at the back of your mind that when you use ICT to create value, money would follow that value. Can somebody repeat that with me? When you use ICT to create value, money will follow that value. I was discussing with one of my mentors, and he was telling me that money. I told her money is not my problem. Money is not my problem. If I need to make money, I know what to do to make money. If I want, let me give you an instance. We signed an agreement with a state government recently to do a PPP project for real estate. Total project was going to cost 6 billion naira. The state government was not going to provide 1 naira. We were the ones going to provide the entire funding. And I just told the state government, I said, just give us a timeline of 3.5 years to deliver this project. And when I was going, my partners were like, are we okay at all? This is 6 billion naira we are talking about. That project, as of today, is at 40% completion. And we have not borrowed 1 naira from anybody. And we are going to complete it. Because value has been stored somewhere. All these years that I've been doing ICT and all that, I've been creating value. All I had to do was a miniature of what Elon Musk did. Sell off Tesla shares to buy Twitter. Then he named it X. What does X mean? That's by the way. One of the fastest means of creating value in the world today is ICT. That's why in the list of the top 20 richest billionaires in the world, you find out that the ICT guys are kings. Anybody likes football here? With all the people that come into the stadium to watch Real Madrid, Manchester United, all those clubs every weekend, don't you find it very surprising when they say they want to buy a club and the money they are mentioning is very funny? Have you ever thought about that before? Recently, which club was bought recently? Everton or Newcastle? Newcastle. How much was it bought for? With all the players, and when Newcastle is buying players, they'll be buying this one 40 million, 80 million, and all that. The entire club itself is just worth a little multiples of that. How much was Twitter sold for? What did it cost to develop Twitter? Okay? We're talking about the guy that developed Paystack. How much would they have put in to develop Paystack? And how much was Paystack acquired for? If that money is well stored, that guy has transformed his family from generational poverty to generational wealth. There's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. Let me tell you the difference. A lot of our entertainers are rich. A lot of our footballers are rich. The moment their career takes a nosedive, they come and start begging for money. Have you noticed that trend? They were rich, they were not wealthy. Wealth is riches that can be passed on from generation to generation. You see some families in the West, and they say that guy is the sixth in the line of that generation, and he's still enjoying that wealth. When I was in Ife, I was able to make use of a library, Rockefeller Foundation Library. You remember that library, man? That was on the faculty floor. Rockefeller died, I think, 1912 or something. And a foundation that was formed from his estate provided computers that I took part in using in 1999 at Ife. That is wealth. Now, ICT has the potential not just to make you rich, but to make you wealthy. That was why the first seminar was the one that we took first. You need to have some technical know-how, because when you have that technical know-how, you are able to use that to create value. Now, I want to talk to you like my siblings. What value are you creating or are you generating when you take your phone and you watch videos, skits that had no value to you as a person for hours on end? You are burning data, you are making shaggy, macaroni, and all these people richer, and all you are getting out of it is the occasional laughs that you get. And those guys are smiling to you. Why are they doing that? Because they are smarter than you. And even in the Bible, it is written that God uses the foolish things of this world to, somebody complete that for me. Let me throw a figure to you. $40,000. How much is the naira exchange rate to the dollar now? 1,600 plus, right? An average skit maker, those top 10 skit makers that you have in Nigeria, they average $40,000 in money made from off endless streaming that. And that is why, where's that my brother, this content? Yes. There's a lot of money in that thing. As long as you continue to generate that content and you are consistent with it. And you learn skill of making it reach as many people. Do you do content ads? You don't. We'll talk about that later. As I'm sitting down here today, I checked my dashboard while sitting down there. And I was happy because I know how much value I've generated today on my online business. The server is just sitting somewhere, just generating money. And guess what? I've not changed a single thing on that server. It's 2014 where I hosted it, where it was based. What am I saying to you? Daddy was speaking the other time. That's why I said there is divine connection in it. He said, despise not the days of little beginnings. Do you remember? David was a smallie, last smallie. Eliab was even very angry with him. What thing you can't do for here? You came here to come and watch the battle, Abi. They didn't expect him to be there. Let's talk about your phones. How much on an average do you spend on data in a week? This is participatory, please. This is participatory. How much? Just give me figures. 1 gig, 1 gig okay for you for a week? No. 5 gig? 5 gig of data? Hello? Hello? Okay, my brother, how much do you spend on data in a week? 6,300 naira. What network is that? MTN. How much data does that give you? Huh? 1.5 gig, 300. Like 3 times a day. Now, what do you use that data to consume? I want us to be practical, please. By the time we finish this session, I would have taught you how, instead of being a consumer, you be an earner. Do you understand? So I'm taking you and a few other people as case studies. What do you use that data for? Please come. Please.
Good evening, everyone.
You can go and sit down. You can go
All
and
right,
sit
sir.
down. We'll be passing the mic.
All right, sir. Yeah. Although I spend some of them on YouTube, Instagram, and the likes, but then basically I use them for works on cryptocurrency to run notes and other things like that.
Okay. I like your honesty. Cryptocurrency.
Yes, sir.
So you mine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Pass the mic to the lady in white on glasses. I'm going to be calling you. How much data do you consume on an average weekly? Weekly average consumption of data.
Just 2,000 naira.
Huh?
2,000 naira.
2,000 naira. How much data does that give you?
7.
Huh?
About
Okay, stand up.
7 gig.
7 gig. How do you use up 7 gig?
Mostly
Instagram.
Instagram.
Do you have an Instagram account?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a TikTok account? No. What else? What else do you do with data? Don't feel shy. Don't feel shy.
Instagram, TikTok, and for classes.
And
For classes.
classes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What course do you study?
Nursing.
Nursing. Okay. Thank you. Sit down. Pass the mic to this side. Bring the mic to him. What's the favorite app on your phone? The most used app on your phone?
Audio Mark.
Audio Mac. Thank you for your honesty. So you love music? Okay. So how much data do you use to stream music in a week?
8 gig.
8 gig. So that means you do 24 gig of data on a monthly basis. Okay. Thank you. Pass the mic to the sister in wine. You're looking back. It is you I'm talking to. Is that wine? Sorry, I'm colorblind. Okay. Don't allow anybody to intimidate you. Please. How much data do you use weekly?
Like 2,000 naira.
2,000 naira. So what do you do mostly?
The WhatsApp and classes.
WhatsApp and classes. Okay, what school?
Nursing.
Nursing, School of
Yes,
Nursing, Oshogbo here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. You hold the mic, sit down. We'll still pass the mic. The most commonly used tool to make money in Nigeria is social media. And I want to tell you that the fact that you're on campus right now, you're a potential millionaire. Ask me how. You have a ready-made market. Let's go back to when I was on campus. I started harvesting from that my market, that campus. I sold computers to like about 20 lecturers. I can't count how many. And you know the very first big deal that I secured after graduation, I'm not talking about work. Very first big I got was from a colleague who had sold his computer to when we were on campus. His daddy's office contracted me to assemble 120 computers for them. So even if I was making 5,000 naira as at that time, multiply that by 100. Now you're on campus. Everybody has a phone. A greater percentage of people have computers. You all have access to the internet. What can I do to reach out to everybody here? What service can I sell to them that I can monitor? One of the richest people in Nigeria making money off social media is a lady called Linda Ikeji. How many of you know about Linda Ikeji? You don't know Linda Ikeji? Osanobua. You know her. Then why are you not answering? Linda Ikeji popularized blog form in Nigeria. And what was she doing? Apropos. When I was at Ife, there was a magazine called Veritas. God, only God can save you if Veritas will report to you about you. You remember Veritas that time? That is exactly what she turned into, an ICT-based platform, starting from Unilag. She's made so much money off blogging that right now, and the funniest thing is, this is not just value. This is liquid that she has. Are we together? So let's be practical. What do you think you can sell? Anybody from OE? Sorry, I'm not partial though. But every time I envision a campus, I envision OE. That's why. Great Ife. Raise up your hand if you're from Great Ife. What do you think you can sell? I'm very concerned. I go to Ife, speak to graduates of the Faculty of Agric every year. And I was there last year. I got to the faculty, said, let's. I said, no, don't. As normal as I would normally do, I went to the conference center, tried to book a room. Okay, thank you. I went to the conference center, tried to book a room, and I realized that the whole place was fully booked. So I asked, is there medical student induction? There's no convocation? What event is the school hosting that has made conference center? I like the conference center because it is classy. Not everybody can afford to sleep at the conference center. That's why I go there. And they said they are fully booked. And I asked, and the lady at the reception told me, all these Yahoo boys, this is where they live now. Am I Great Ife students? True or false? And I was like, are you serious? She said, yes. She said, didn't you see the cars parked at the car park? And I went to the car park and I saw all the cars there. Virtually all of them had customized plate numbers. And they were not just small cars, they were heavy, heavy cars. The rate at which our people are going to the negative side of ICT to make money is really alarming. And that's why I like talking to the youth. We've not even scratched the surface of the positive sides. And we are becoming notorious for the use of the negative side. So let's get practical. Ife has about 60,000 students. True or false? Undergraduates, postgraduates, all the diploma courses and everything. Let's build a service together. What do you think all these students consume that can be sold ICT wise? Where are the great Ife students now? If you're not great again, let me make you laugh. This is a diversion. But I want this to be, on the 10th of July 1999, I had that same statement I just uttered now. If you're not great again, that was when cultists came to attack us on campus. I was coming from, I had a test the next morning, and we went to tutorial. After the tutorial, I decided to stay back to read. I had a certification exam coming up, my CCNA. So I stayed back in class to read. On my way back, I was noticing strange faces and all that. Then as I was staying in Fajui Annex, I got to the front of my room, and as I was about entering the door, I heard banger sounds. I thought it was banger sounds. I woke up my roommates. I said, "Oh, they said there's gyration in Awo today. Awo is really hot, though, that they are doing gyration. Can you hear the banger sounds?" So this is banger sound. Then the guy ran in from the shortcut from that New Booker side and said they are killing people in Awo. And we all laughed. How can they kill people in Awo? Awo that I stay in. In fact, I was meant to move to Awo Hall the next day because they just put me in Faj that year. I was in 400 level and I was like, I can't stay in Faj. I want to stay in Awo amongst my boys. So I had negotiated with the person that got my room in Awo that I will come and stay there. We had planned that after our tests on Saturday, almost everybody had tests that Saturday. So this was Friday night. After our test on Saturday, I will move my things in my car to Awo, drop them. I will drop him and his things in my own room. So we laughed. Then the next thing we had, I can't even remember if it was the sound we had first or it was the spark from the gun that we saw first. Next thing I just realized was I was looking across the corridor. There was no other person there. I was the only person there. Everybody had vamoosed. I told you about my friend that was always security conscious. If you remember those rooms in our Faj Annex, there is an entrance door, there is an exit door at the back. All of them ran in from that first door, and they were congregated at the other door. One person is opening, several people are pushing it, and all that. They, in a state of panic. So I entered, I bolted the door, and when I saw that they were all there, I don't want anybody to meet me at that door. I quickly ducked under somebody's bed. I didn't know that one just finished warming his hot soup and put it under the bed. I still have the scar till tomorrow. I dove under that thing as I was diving in. I was about diving now. Somebody was diving in after me again and pushed me by the wall. So it was myself and the pot. So it was during that agony of being, "Men, come out!" Nobody came out though. Nobody came out. 276 Faj. I will never forget. One of the days God saved me. Because I was the last person to enter that door and close the door. They rained gunshots at that door. 10 years after I graduated, the door still remained unchanged. I think they've changed it now. Because I go to that room every time. I go to that room and I do Thanksgiving that God saved me that night. Yeah? So back to, Great Ife, I believe you are still great. So we have about 60,000 customers. I'm trying to be practical now. That's why I'm not doing slides. You will get the slides. And I will run through a few points there. But let's be practical. Let's make money together. You have 60,000 people. You have a phone in your hand that is data enabled. You have all these social media platforms. Without writing a code, what can you sell to make money? Think like the Chinese think. All of you, how many of you have OPay accounts? How many of you have PalmPay accounts? You know they are run by the same people. The Chinese. The Chinaman once told me that it is better for you to make $1 off 10 people than make $100 off one person. And that's the success story of China. Chinaman will sell you anything at the right price. And that's a trick of making money off social media. The pricier your things are, the farther away people are from you. 60,000 people. What can you sell? Don't fall my hand though. Because these are not on point though. Yeah, let's think. We'll be here till midnight. I decided to stay back because this session is going to be very, very engaging. There's no business wizard here. When I was your age, now that everybody is shouting Dangote, the Dangote of our time was MQ Abiola. It takes me back to riches versus wealth. I remember it was at one point that does he think he can ever go broke? And it was like, no. That if Agbano enters his money, Agbano will eat and get tired. Abiola's money finished before he died. If you follow the news, you see the noise Dangote was making about this refinery thing when they said they won't sell him crude. Does any one of you know about that news? Because if he hadn't been getting that crude, that business will run him aground. Who is the richest black man in the world? Dangote Abi. But couldn't bring out $20 billion to build that refinery. It's all built on bank loan. Because that money that Dangote has is not cash in the bank. It is the value of Dangote shares. Are you getting me? Dangote, the richest black man in the world, has share value. ICT will give you liquid cash value and share value too. 60,000 people, 60,000 potential customers. What can you sell? All the Great Ife people here today are disappointing me. Food. Good. A round of applause, please. Please pass the mic to him. How do you use ICT to sell food on campus?
We and OAU as a community as a whole.
Let's narrow it down, sir. Do they still sell tech bread at OAU? Tech bread. That was my savior back then. Especially the one that had chocolate in it. So how do you sell tech bread to a quarter of the 60,000 students in OAU using ICT?
Using ICT, I believe a whole lot of OAU have WhatsApp number, and there are a good number of influencers that uses WhatsApp and TV. So, and especially I've noticed for the OAU aspirants coming in, most of them depend on all these influencers to get updates and all those things. And this is also a way of actually leveraging on their influence, and probably if someone can advertise on their page, there's a way of reaching out to a larger audience of students that look up to all these influencers. And that's for WhatsApp. For Facebook, we can niche OAU, Obafemi Awolowo University, as a community, or to the targeted audience in that community, in doing an advert, a paid advert to that audience.
Thank you very much. But let me critique that. An average student, I graduated from IFE 2002. I know of tech bread. An average student in OAU today knows about tech bread. You don't need advertisements. That defeats some of the purpose that you presented. However, have you ever thought about it this way? Why don't I, as a person, go to the manufacturers of tech bread at OAU and be like, I will create a platform for you guys where people can place orders for this bread. This bread will be delivered to their doorsteps, and a certain token is charged as delivery cost. When I was on campus, you had to be on the lookout for all those people saying, or you go all the way down to the bakery to buy it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if that's still the case now. What's the case now? It's everywhere. It's very rare. So that's a need. So why not go there, design a workflow? Are you with me? Design a workflow. Now listen to this. Coding is becoming a thing of the past. It is still very relevant, but it's becoming a thing of the past. There are several platforms where everything that you want to code is already there. Said something? Somebody said something there. Said yes. All these codes are there for you to modify. Do you know that if you want to have your own Facebook today, by the time you register your website and you go to the back end of your cPanel, when you want to install WordPress or any of those applications to run your content management system on it, you see a particular line where it says social media. You have applications that look exactly like Facebook running. You can actually set up your own. Are you getting my point? So you have all these, we call them open source. There are all these open source applications that you can download and just customize without writing a single line of code, and you deliver a service. Don't forget what I said. Think like the Chinese. $1 per customer is better than $100 from one customer. By the time you make 5 naira from 20 people, how much is that? 100 naira. Make it from 100 people, how much is that? That's how the Chinese make their money. The moment you start thinking of the big thousands and millions, you won't go anywhere. Despise not the day of little beginnings. We've spoken about food. 60,000 students. What other service? God bless you. When I was at IFE, what we hear is, they are still there. God bless you. Have you ever thought of that mama, that guy that washes, aggregating them together? Start a business. Come up with an interface where students come to book, drop their apartments, their room numbers. You do a pickup service, and all those people that you have aggregated will wash, and you make your own money off them. Do you understand that business scenario? Who doesn't understand it? Who doesn't understand it? See, when I came out from the university, I had 120,000 naira saved. It was big money that 120,000 naira that time will buy you a Tokumbo vehicle. But instead of going after, well, I had a vehicle. Instead of going after people were like, why not change this car? Why not the, you know, a Toyota panel van? Can't know it. They call it Chalake back then. That was what I was using. Who felt I was going to change it? But instead of that, I invested it. And in less than 5 years, that's one, not, I'm not talking about my salary. That's 120,000 naira, 6 million. In less than 5 years. What was I doing? Don't forget, there was no social media at that time. There was no social media. What I did was I aggregated people. Don't forget that when I was at NYSC, I was working for NIT and I was training people. So there were coppers that joined me to that training. We moved down to Lagos together and we were all running a company. So we go out, presentation, design your website for you. We can do this, we can do that. And people were paying. We can design your database, we can do this. And we kept on doing stuff. Kept on doing stuff. But let's even be, my brother here talked about cryptocurrency. Please, let's have the mic. That's one of the several ways you can make money. I wouldn't lie to you. I don't do blockchain myself. Please take the mic. Explain to us how it works.
All right. Cryptocurrency is a kind of large, what's it called, market now. Somebody that is in cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
there is something called DeFi in cryptocurrency. There is node running, there is trading, there is airdrop, and the likes in cryptocurrency. So you can decide to delve into trading, or you can decide to go for airdrop, and you can decide to go for blockchain development, node running, testnet running, and the likes. So that's how it works, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
How many other people here are into cryptocurrency? You will raise up your hand and you look back. Most people are doing it. You don't need to tell me. When I look at when I'm working in the middle of the night, I have a certain group of people around your age, some of them freshly graduated, some of them still in school, and I always see, are you active? Who is active? Who is up and active? So I called one of them one day. I said, what is this active that you people are doing in the middle? He called. He said, no, it's cryptocurrency, that's the language. He said, I'm not ready interested in that language. One thing I need to tell you is this. When you hear my life story, you think everything has been smooth all this while. No. Everybody goes through a path life where you have challenges coming. That is when what Yorubas say comes to play. It is the value that you have accrued over the years that will take you through those trying times. Are you with me? Now, I will give you this very serious advice. Don't ever go and invest, not now, alone, even later in life. Any business you don't know so much about it, don't put money in it. It might be legitimate business. ICT, non-ICT, it might be legitimate business. Other people might do it and make billions out of it. If you don't know the nooks and cranny of the business, don't put money in it. In other words, don't invest in what you don't know. You can never see me put money in anything cryptocurrency. And I have friends who are making serious money out of it. Because I have decided not to understand it. If the world gets to a point where everybody must, then I will jump on it. But I have alternatives now. And the alternatives are more than enough for me. So let me make some references. There are freelance platforms in the world today where you can offer your services and get paid. When we start the mentoring program, I will give you more insight into this. There are freelance platforms. There's Upwork, there's Fiverr. Those platforms will help you to make money for putting in a bit of your time. And guess what? The money is in dollars. It's not in naira. The other time I was telling you guys, I looked at what I've made today and I was very happy, right? It's Upwork. Go to Upwork, you sign up on Upwork. They assign projects to you. A lot of clients are looking for people to help them do this, help them do that. They assign those projects to you. You deliver on the project, get paid. All right? There are remote jobs. When I got to Abiola Jimobi University, I looked at all the staff in the ICT department. And I know what the Bible says about someone who is then at what he does, dining with kings and not with mean men. How many people are familiar with that passage? So I called this guy and I said to him, I don't see you here before the end of the year. And I see you earning. Have you ever thought of remote? About 3-4 months later, he came to call me. He had seen something. We're talking 2 or 3 days ago. And he said people in his neighborhood thinks he's a Yahoo boy now. So why would they think you're a Yahoo boy? He said because they see that he never goes out. He's always in the house. Generator is running. They see that he's living a better life than he used to live before. And I smiled. A lot of the boys that you see on carrying knapsack up and down, IT boys that you see living good today are doing remote jobs. And you know the funniest thing about these remote jobs? They don't ask for your certificates, they ask for your skills. They won't even ask you for your certifications. You know coding. You know this. Yes, they give you this test to do this. How many of you have heard of GitHub, GIT Hub? If you are a coder here, you need to go and get a GitHub profile. Companies around the world are looking through the GitHub profiles of people, see what they can do, and they're giving them. Those are some ways by which you can make money. Now, e-commerce and e-business. That's the biggest thing in. If I look at the profile of the OAU students that I mentor presently, all of them have one thing or the other that they are selling. Selling shoes, selling bags, they are selling all these Chinese products, toothpaste hanger, all sorts of things. And I said to one of them one, all these things that you are selling, are they available for students to buy? I said yes. How many students have bought? I said very few. I said you are not selling things that students need. Look for stuff that students need. Somebody came to me a few months ago with her husband. She wanted to get a shop around our axis in Lagos. And I said, have you counted the cost? He said, and I said, it's not a matter of today. Everybody is opening shops. How profitable are those shops? Why not stay at home and run your business online? Then I said, okay, let's have a bet. I'm going to give you this amount of money. If at the end of 6 months of staying at home, doing this business online, you don't make that amount of money. So we had that bet, and I drew a template for her. We came up with a platform. Let's do social media marketing. Put 50,000 naira into ads on Instagram, into ads on Facebook, into ads on X. This is your products. Bring them out. advertise them. We're not even going to Jumia or Konga yet. Let's even just try social media marketing. Create a number. Let's use that number for just WhatsApp. Let people start ordering. Then let's look for a delivery person. And is there delivery business in Ife already? We have bike people who do deliveries. And we started. That's what this person is selling. Ask me. Kuli kuli. We all know what kuli kuli is. And we started delivery business for kuli kuli. And in 6 months, he made over 750 net profit. I'm not talking about. Do we even know the difference between net and gross? After taking out every expense, 750K. This person doesn't even know that it was groundnut that was used to make kuli kuli. She gets the kuli kuli from somewhere up north. The kuli kuli is delivered to the park. She goes to take the kuli kuli. Then she got a pack. He designed it, packages it well, got NAFDAC registration done for it. And every morning, Okadas will come and take deliveries several areas in Lagos. And over 750,000 naira was made in 6 months from selling kuli. I now asked all the shops in the area where you wanted to get a shop before, how many of them can sell 750K gross, not even net? Because they will pay for security, they will pay rent, they will pay local government tax, they will pay for lights. By the time you remove all those costs, the money is gone. And that's why I was saying it the other time that the world is going into an era where if you don't fit into ICT, you shape out. Are we together? Now, I don't want us to talk too much. I know you are tired. I want to divide the class into 4 groups. I want to be practical. 1, 2, those first 2 rows, you are one group. The other 2 rows, you are one group. The row here, you are also one group. From behind my Ife brother, that other row, you are another group. Come to